here is something that Christina shares. So some protests are going on, and I'm not really familiar with everything going on here. We're going to learn about it for the first time together. The Denver Post is the outlet this is from, and Christina shared this over on the Twitter. So let's see what's going on. Americans protest on medal stand at Pan Am Games. Okay. Fencer Rayson Bowden took a knee, and hammer thrower Gwen Berry raised her fist to draw attention to growing tensions in the U.S. Okay, so what's going on here? This happened in Lima, Peru. Two Americans used their medal-winning moments at the Pan American Games to draw attention to social issues back home that they feel are spiraling out of control. During their medal ceremonies at the multi-sport event in Lima, fencer Rayson Bowden took a knee, and hammer thrower Gwen Berry raised her fist. Both athletes could represent the U.S. less than a year from now at the Tokyo Olympics, where similar protests would be seen by a much wider audience. Racism, gun control, mistreatment of immigrants, and a president who spreads hate are at the top of a long list of America's problems, and Bowden said in a tweet sent after his team's foiled medal ceremony. I chose to sacrifice my moment today at the top of the podium to call attention to issues I believe need to be addressed. I encourage others to please use your platforms for empowerment and change. Berry raised her fist as America's national anthem was played to honor her win in the hammer throw. She called out injustice in America and a president who's making it worse. It's too important to not say anything, Berry told USA Today. Something has to be said. If nothing is said, nothing will be done, and nothing will be fixed, and nothing will be changed. The history of high-profile protests at the Olympics dates to the 1968 Games in Mexico City, when sprinters Tommy Smith and John Carlos raised their fists during the medal ceremony for the 200-meter dash. The issues haven't changed all that much in the ensuing 50 years. Good for them. I admittedly don't know anything about either of these two athletes other than what we just read. But I think that's awesome that they're using their platform. Look, take a look around us. And you know, we talked about this on the show yesterday where I'm talking about, look, every revolution has its soundtrack. And who are these artists that didn't want to work with the climate activist Greta Thunberg? How do you look around if you are somebody with any type of platform? How do you look around? Or if you're just anybody, period. We all have a platform. We all have something. We all have Twitter. We all have Facebook. How do you look around and be like, we're fine. There's nothing. We got nothing to say here. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to think about. How do you say nothing? And the athletes that say something will be remembered when history is recorded, because I have to stay positive. I have to keep the hope that we're still going to have a positive chapter here in human history, that we're going to turn the corner from this for the better, that we're going to take a sharp left turn and this country is going to get better. I can't give up the hope that that's going to happen. I can't give up that hope. And when that does, and the history books are written, the people who said something will be remembered. The people who wrote the protest music, who used their platform to make a statement, the Colin Kaepernicks. These athletes, Gwendolyn Berry, and what's the other name? Rayson Bowden. Rayson Bowden, who's a fencer, which is really cool. Fencing's a lot of fun, actually. I was never good at it, but I tried it a couple times. I did foil, which if you ever fenced before, foil is a little more simple, like it's a little more like just like basic jabs and stuff, whereas like saber is a little more like you're all over the place. And then eventually it gets like choreographed and stuff like that, or it can be. I only did foil, which is like the really basic kind, and I only did it a couple times. It's a very expensive sport to partake in, but I was lucky because at my high school, the fencing club was there weren't a lot of people in it. So basically, if you had a friend in fencing club, they tried to recruit you to join fencing club. I had a friend in fencing club, so he was like, "Dude, come on!" And they had enough equipment that they would have equipment for you to use, and there were no fees to join the fencing club because they just needed people. So my fencing experience was free. But, you know, that's kind of lucky. So shout out to these athletes. Shout out to Racing Bowden. Shout out to Gwen Berry. I think it's really cool they're doing this. And hopefully we see more of that. Look around us. Now's the time. If you don't, and this is just a thing out there to everybody, whether you're an artist, a musician, a comedian, a poet, an athlete, or just a person who looks around and says, I want the world to be a better place, no matter what your situation is. If you're not going to speak up now, you're just never going to speak up. I mean, look around us. Look around in our contemporary society. Anybody who's not speaking up now, I guess has no plans on speaking up ever, unless they're not awake yet. And there's going to be a whole new crop of people that are going to be awake this election season. I mean, that's the one redeeming thing about the circumstance we're in is that people are waking up in droves. Tons of people woke up politically because of Donald Trump, because that's what it takes in society. It takes an event where you're just like, whoa, what the hell? They're lying to us. Holy, what? Whoa, I'm awake. It takes an event. For me, it was the Iraq War. And then the 2004 election. When Iraq happened, I was like, why are we going to Iraq? They didn't attack us. What's going on here? Is the Bush administration lying to us? I'm not a big fan of the guy, but I don't know. I don't really pay attention to politics. What's going on? Oh, wait a second. Fox News is faxing this administration talking points. That's happening. Our media is owned by an elite group of corporations. That's a thing. Clear Channel gobbled up a bunch of the radio stations, and that's why it's all right-wing talk and insipid music. What's happening? I thought we were a democracy. What's this Noam Chomsky book? We got to get Bush out of office. Oh, we failed to do that? I'm awake now. That was what happened to me. And that happened to a bunch of people in 2016. It's going to happen to a bunch more people in 2020. So, but if you're awake and you're not speaking out, well, you just never plan on doing it. Because if you don't speak out now, I don't know what it's going to take. I think it's just it's just not going to happen. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today.